to be a part of the opening address as a part of the second week of GenNext 2022. On that note, without further ado, for the opening address, I invite on Vineet Vij, Group General Counsel Tech Mahindra, and Vineet Vij, who's an integral part of Legal Era corporate counsel community. Vineet Vij, greetings, good afternoon. Over to you, Mr. Vij. Mr. Vij, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Emna. I think, thank you so much for the kind words. But I think I must say one piece about Legal Era corporate counsel community, and I think it's important that we talk that out. This is a great initiative, and thank you, Legal Era, for having me being a part of this. We all do our routine duties as the general counsels or as the in-house counsels, but there are some key roles that we now play in terms of compliance officers, risk officers, strategic advisors, even as board members. So I think it's important that we have a network which is really one which comprises of GCs and lawyers who are business enablers, and they go on to achieve this global and dynamic business needs of the organization. I think one additional piece that I would also like to add is the fact that LCCA is a global community, will have chapters in India, US, UK, Asia Pacific, and Middle East. So I think that's the span of the LCCA, and it's important that the GCs and the corporate councils kind of join this. They are integral part, and they are one-to-one in conversation with renowned multinational and domestic companies, legal professionals, and gain a lot of knowledge and access to systems and the legal departments in the other corporations. So thank you so much, and I wish all the best to LCCA, and I look forward to a wonderful interaction going forward. I think starting with the current topic, the first session, and thank you for this week 2, session 1, and giving me this opportunity to open the session. And what a session! We're talking about disruptive technologies and the disruptive, solutions and so on. So I think it's a great topic to be here, and I think this esteemed panelists, Navneet and Anand, I'm sure will bring a lot of valuable insight from the great experience they have on this fold. So, just to get started at a macro level, we've all been witnessing, and we are all part of these disruptive technologies which are all around us today, where, the old existing systems are getting substituted with noticeably superior characteristics. These innovative technologies are just changing the way how consumers, businesses, and industries operate, and how we replace the old existing systems with newer habits and superior alternatives. Some key ones that we just see across today in our daily life, it could be about e-commerce, virtual courts, riding apps, ride-sharing apps, e-health platforms, GPS systems. Just you name them and they're all there. And importantly, I think there's one important fact that I would like to kind of highlight is the fact that it is not essential that technology is always new or, it's groundbreaking. It should be able to disrupt or kind of revolutionize the existing market technology and so on. I think that's what causes disruption, and that's what causes adoption. So I think we are going through that phase. Further, over the many last years, we've seen organizations aggressively adopting digitization and now using artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality, virtually, to leverage the disruptive technologies propelled the need for transformation. And I think what has happened is the usual business as usual approach has now got replaced, and we are aggressively turning to technologies to formulate new businesses and operational models. I think that's what we are in today's world. Importantly, artificial intelligence space that we are all into is also seeing huge investment from big tech companies. We see a large deployment of graphic processing units by leaders such as Meta and Alphabet. The AI space and other practical applications are also, spanning into areas like fraud protection, spam detection, image recognition, natural language processing, and much more. How can we not talk about the new buzzword metaverse? I think Facebook is called as Meta. So I think that's the importance. Metaverse extensively deploys AR, VR technologies to establish the metaverse space, which is the cyberspace with avatars in alternate virtual worlds, aiming to immersive experience of users to work, play, and live. I think we see many, many companies now, besides the tech giants, also coming into the field. There are a lot of investments that are going through, and there's a multitude of changes that are coming about. We are also envisioning a full-fledged virtual digital economy with NFTs, crypto to record ownerships. So I think that's something that is happening as well. AI and ML is being put to use to combat the risk of financial crimes and fraudulent activities. Transition analysis and tracking and similar automation is being used within the metaverse avatar system by ML through decisions being made in the virtual worlds. So what's happening? The organizations are adopting AI and ML techniques to improve their business processes, efficiencies, and what we see is reduction, to my mind, reduction in employees' work pressure, efficient maintenance of inventory, things like easy analysis of huge data sets, facilitation of complex decisions, better market analysis, more enhanced security maintenance, and that's how the AI systems are effectively working towards it. So I think there is a lot of stuff which is happening in this space. We have evidence to see that the present and the future markets are welcoming this change. As I understand, the digital technologies and the revenue models are currently at about $380 odd billion in 2021, and have an increase of almost 20% this year. And we are looking at what, $15 trillion of global economy, being affected by AI eventually by 2030. We'll have fellow panelists talk about, but I think we're also talking about blockchain technology, which is already disrupting the banking sector. We've got several countries adopting digital cash as the legal tender. So that's another piece of disruption that is happening. And how do we not talk about our legal industry? So I think what we are also seeing on the legal industry is how the artificial intelligence is finding its way into the industry workflows. The smart artificial intelligence contracting, I'm just giving a kind of an example. Smart artificial intelligence contracting tools, which we all kind of use today, are now used for contract reviews. It has simplified the life cycle management of contracts. The AI assistants built into the tool are really, really helpful. The assistants now rely on machine learning, which we come across over the period from contracting data that is fit into the tool, and that really enables AI to suggest changes based on our standard contractual position. So it's a sea change from where we were, say, a decade ago. The result in streamlining the contract review process and increasing efficiency with shorter turnaround times is also, in my mind, promoting the ease of business. We are also talking about courts. We also know about court systems and how the disruptive technologies have done wonders there. COVID is an example. I leave it there. I know we've got great people to talk about. But we know of the AI-powered portal of the Supreme Court, the ML being deployed in Supreme Court's software, etc. And we're talking about rulings coming in vernacular languages. So that's all that is a result of the disruptive technologies, so as to say. Education is another one sector that I would like to really emphasize on fact that is really leveraging from digital technology and how we can impart better education going forward. Unlike the traditional education systems, digital integration through AI, blockchain, etc., has culminated in enhancement of e-learning and consequently bettering results. Similarly, use of such technologies and solutions during harvesting and post-harvesting stages is turning out to be a boom for our agriculture sector. So there is no sector that we can really talk about which is not impacted or is not part of this great revolution, so as to say. Importantly, the healthcare sector, we see devices loaded with softwares, which, use AI and machine learnings. You could have, based on data fed into the systems, detect breast cancers, do a retinal imaging for, diabetic, finding diabetic symptoms, thermal images, and, using positive and negative reports to come to some kind of conclusions, etc. Just some examples that, it's important that I bring that to this forum here. The second part that, of the theme, which is to my mind a very important piece around accountability, transparency, and the blind spots, the legal blind spots, so as to say. I think while the technology is still emerging, it is causing disruptions. It's doing wonders, actually, to my mind. But we're also moving into an area where we don't really know what could be the ramifications and what could be, therefore, the legal blind spots. However, there are a lot of stuff which is happening at the global level. We understand that globally we are getting into standardization where the countries are enacting general bills to govern AI. I think, for example, the General Artificial Intelligence Bill was introduced in 17 states in the US, and I believe Colorado, Illinois, Vermont, and Washington have already adopted the same. It's important that and the importance can also be seen from the fact that, several years ago, UNESCO introduced preliminary studies involving AI-based machines and cognitive computing alongside a draft recommendation on ethics, but particularly ethics of artificial intelligence. Accountability aspect is another one area that I think is going to be a big time area. How do we see that whether the AI designers and developers who write the algorithms make decisions about the uses of systems, are they accountable for the success, failures, and implications, or are they not? The data that we talk about, which is getting fed into the AI to regulate the functioning of systems, is bound to contain discrimination, unfairness, bias, and so on and so forth. So I think there is another aspect which kind of is very important. How do we, or what would be the world be looking at eventually in terms of the question of civil and criminal liabilities of AI, so as to say,